come.
Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
That one's for Nicky, mate.
The man is a G! He absolutely kills it, bro. He absolutely, like, who even thinks about that? One, his team screwed him up. I feel like there's a lot of team mess-ups here.
That was...
Okay, so this is not the normal intro the coming up that I usually put in all of my videos. I just wanted to give a shout out to a man who's been a humongous part of my life ever since I was a young child. Is my dad, Edwin. Hope you had a happy birthday. This was supposed to come out yesterday on his birthday. Obviously, with this being a longer video, it got slightly delayed. He is the one who made these absolutely gorgeous custom hats. We're setting up his website right now. The man has spent his entire life making clothes and being a graphic designer, being an artist, and he's put so much into his craft and he loves it so much, and it's given me ideas and passion to do what I love, and he is the best at it. I enjoy coming home every single time I do get to go home and sort of seeing what he's working on next, what he's been doing, and what he's been up to. So apologies for this not being my normal intro, but I just wanted to give him my biggest bit of gratitude that I can, and whatever a shout out could have been, this is it. And I will probably have this hat on for the rest of the video, as I do in a lot of my videos recently. So if you guys see these hats, this is where they're from. But yeah, let's get into the normal video. What's going on, guys? It is Shay J here, back with a new video, and today this is the one everyone has been waiting for. This is the 10 moments of Lewis Hamilton brilliance. It's pretty much a Lewis Hamilton highlights. We've taken a look at, I think it was Lewis Hamilton's first win. If I'm not mistaken, it was Montreal 2007, which we recorded that video in like early December or late November. It's been a while since we recorded that video, which that was our first sort of look at Lewis Hamilton to a degree. I think we looked slightly at like a him versus Max Verstappen one as well, but that was literally just from the 2021 season. I know from watching the F1 Champions video, he has won award after award, championship after championship, but I don't know how he's done it. And I don't know what you guys would consider his best race, his best pole, his best like moment of brilliance, but we're gonna watch the F1 version, and we're gonna see, we're just kind of gonna bask it all in. I'm gonna bask in it. This is gonna be a fun video. I think this is gonna be an amazing video. Let me know your guys' favorite Lewis Hamilton moment, and let me know what other racing moments, drivers, races, you know, anything. Let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys, and let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video obviously on the F1 channel. The link to it will be down in the description below. Big up the hats.
Lewis Hamilton, the newly crowned 7-time Formula One world champion, has driven some of the most memorable races in the history.
So does he have 8, or is it 7 and he needs number 8? I never understood that.
The sport. The 2006 GP2 champion announced himself to the world in style after his move to partner world champion Fernando Alonso in the McLaren F1 team.
Really?
Hamilton racked up some solid practice sessions at the 2007 season opener in Melbourne, but couldn't quite take that form into qualifying, starting from P4 on his Formula One debut. But the Stevenage rookie was determined to show his worth, laying down a marker at turn 1 that set the tone for the rest of his career.
Hamilton's had some manners put on him by Kubica, but he comes round the outside. He's also gone round Alonso. Stunning start by Lewis Hamilton, up into 3rd place.
First race, first corner. In making a mighty move on your new teammate, the reigning double world champion, Hamilton had proven straight away he was the real deal.
I did not realize that.
Hamilton's pace over a single lap is mind-blowing, and he holds the all-time qualifying record for F1 pole positions. Yet some laps still stand out, such as at Singapore in 2018. Locked in a titanic battle with Sebastian Vettel,
Really?
Hamilton arrived at Marina Bay with a car unsuited to the twisty, technical nature of the street circuit, but made a nonsense of this supposed Achilles heel and conjured up a truly magical qualifying performance. Half a second off Vettel's best time heading into qualifying, he only narrowly avoided a disastrous Q1 exit.
Only a 39.4 for Lewis.
So if the cut-offs are 1:39.5 between success and failure, he is right on the cusp.
And then fell short of Kimi Räikkönen and Max Verstappen's pace in Q2. But as the British driver swung his Mercedes through the floodlit streets of Singapore on his first flying lap in Q3, he came alive. At one with his car, as he set the timing screens purple.
That one felt the most complete lap that I think I may have ever done. We did.
Okay. See, I didn't know where they, like, what they meant by saying Q1 and Q2 and Q3. I finally caught on. Apologies for that. I was sitting there very dumbfounded for about a good 45 seconds. B, I swear this has been a comment in so many videos to watch this poll. And we're probably going to watch it in its entirety at a later date. I don't understand. Like, people say F1 is more the car than it is the driver. And I think this is kind of an example of how it isn't. Like, Mercedes were put to the test in essentially the worst track for them.
Did not expect that. No one expected that. And all of a sudden, this lap out of nowhere was just beautiful. Just flowing, beautiful. It was like a dance. It was
A dance.
freaking awesome.
The clock stopped at 1 minute 36.015.
And he was on 139
over 3
pace.
seconds up on Vettel's pole time from the previous year. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff called the lap Stardust, as Hamilton, still shaking from the enormity of his lap, dealt a major blow to Vettel's title ambitions. In a car which, despite its overall dominance, had no right to be on the front row that weekend. He followed it up with a victory, and in so doing, placed one hand on a 5th World Championship crown.
So literally, that was a title-deciding lap.
A comfortable pole
Holy
position
hell.
at Hockenheim in 2008 proved Hamilton was in form, but a poor strategy call would force Lewis to pull off an epic recovery drive. Hamilton had led from the off and was over 11 seconds clear of Felipe Massa's Ferrari at the halfway point. But when Timo Glock's Toyota suffered a suspension failure and crashed, there was a safety car. Cue most of the field peeling into the pits for fresh rubber, but McLaren believed the safety car period would be short, and their driver would have enough time to rebuild a gap before pitting. But they were wrong.
Why have McLaren not brought Hamilton in? That's the big question.
And when he did come in 9 laps after the restart, he was left down in 5th, with just 17 laps to go.
Wow.
Teammate Heikki Kovalainen didn't pose too much of a problem, but ahead lay championship rival Massa and his old GP2 adversary, Nelson Piquet Jr., who was leading by virtue of a perfectly timed pit stop. Massa was struggling with his brakes, and Hamilton dived by into second, with Piquet's Renault in his sights. He was soon on the Brazilian's gearbox and on lap 60 went down the inside at the hairpin to reclaim the lead. Hamilton had come back from the brink, and his immaculate response to the tricky tactics was a joy to behold.
Great drive, Lewis. I'm very sorry that we made it a little bit more difficult for you, but wanted you to have the opportunity of driving a great car and hope you enjoyed it.
The man is a G. The man is an actual G. So his own team nearly sabotaged him from winning the race, and he still found his way back in. I feel like I forget how long he's been around. 2008, 2007 is when he's dominating.
That's okay, Ron. That's a good excuse. Don't worry. And that's what you hired me for, so it's all good.
Oof.
Canada 2007 was only Hamilton's 6th Formula One race,
Yeah,
but
I know
he
this
had
one.
already stood on the podium 5 times, just not on the top step. Yet. But Montreal was a weekend for firsts, as he stormed to his first career pole position and drove with a maturity beyond his 22 years to hold off Alonso at the start and build up a gap to his competitors.
Alonso goes to the outside as he made it. He's gone for broke, and it's cost him.
Hamilton's driving was absolute perfection, as he sailed serenely on through a chaotic afternoon where no less than 4 safety cars constantly cut back his hard-earned
Oh
lead
my
to 0.
God.
But he refused to buckle under
forgot about
pressure and
that.
executed restarts to perfection, despite never having done so in Formula One before. And he came through the carnage to make history. The first black driver to win a Formula One Grand Prix.
Lewis Hamilton wins!
And continued on an unprecedented run of success for a rookie racer.
Oh, is that his dad? Is that his dad though too? That's so sick. That's such a sick moment for him. I'm very chuffed about that.
2019's Monaco Grand Prix demonstrated his mastery of that other vital side to the art of the racing driver.
Grit.
Defending. In the wake of the death of his friend and mentor Niki Lauda,
Really?
who had been so instrumental in persuading
I didn't know
Hamilton to join
Niki Lauda was
Mercedes,
dead.
emotions were high in the Principality. The race started well, leading from the off after taking a dominant pole position until a puncture and floor damage for local hero Charles Leclerc brought out the safety car, and the leaders into the pits on lap 11. Cue a strategic error from Mercedes that gave Hamilton a mountain to climb, while his rivals Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel went back out on hard tyres. Mercedes opted for the mediums, and the world champion now faced a daunting 64-lap stint on the softer compound.
I don't know what you're thinking when you tip these tyres on, man. You need to hope for a miracle.
They have put him on a set of tyres that should do about 50 laps for 67 laps.
But once again, the crisis simply showed the measure of the man as he protected his delicate tyres and defended for his life against Verstappen, one of the most aggressive drivers on the grid, on tyres with minimal tread on the most psychologically demanding circuit in the world.
I
The
didn't realize
Dutchman spent
tires were that
60
big of a
laps
deal.
trying to sneak, slip and nudge past, with Hamilton showing Herculean defensive stamina and
Well, this
tenacity
is such a
to stay ahead,
smaller track.
all the while conscious he dare not overwork his fragile tyres. With 3 laps left, the Dutchman went for a killer pass down the inside into the chicane, but Hamilton's sixth sense kicked in.
Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton, they make contact. Hamilton has to cut the chicane.
And that was as close as he'd come.
Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
That one's for Nicky, mate.
The man is a G! He absolutely kills it, bro. He absolutely, like, who even thinks about that? One, his team screwed him up. I feel like there's a lot of team mess-ups here.
That was definitely probably the hardest race I think I've had. I really was fighting with the spirit of Nicky. I know he'll be looking down, and I know he will take his hat off today.
A swashbuckling racer's performance helped Hamilton beat Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso at the Nürburgring in 2011.
Do they
A
host that one
stunning
event at the
qualifying effort,
Nürburgring anymore? That'd be
1.2
pretty sick.
seconds faster than his McLaren teammate Jenson Button, secured Hamilton a surprise front row start, P2 beside Webber. And
Is
he
this-
got the better of
wait,
the
they're saying
Australian
McLaren.
early off, while Alonso's
When did
Ferrari
he join the
soon got
Mercedes
ahead of
team?
Sebastian Vettel and the other Red Bull, setting up a 3-way battle for victory. Hamilton held off Webber until a small mistake into the chicane on lap 12.
He's gone deep. He's gone too deep.
Webber's going to be through here. Any cares left, he'll deploy it. He's got the inside line. I don't see how Lewis can defend against that. He tries.
Mark getting out of shape on the apex, desperately trying to get on the throttle. So Lewis now then is back in the slipstream, and he comes up the inside using the extra straight line speed of the McLaren. That's not DRS, that's just pure speed. And Alonso watching very closely too.
An earlier pit stop from Red Bull then allowed Webber to jump back ahead, but he couldn't shake off his pursuer. And after the second
so
round of
he's just
stops, he was hung
tracking
out
him
to dry
down.
when he tried to pass Hamilton as the McLaren emerged from its tyre change.
Webber though, can he go around the outside of turn 2 and reclaim that lead? I can't see Lewis yielding that one too easily, and he doesn't.
Hamilton then showed how it should be done by passing Alonso, the Spaniard emerging just ahead to his own stop.
He's round the outside. He's going to make this one stick.
Oh my goodness.
Alonso was caught napping.
The Briton secured just his second win of the season, but it was vintage Hamilton, an offensive masterclass on a day when the driver made all the difference.
Dick, that's what I'm saying, bro. And he always finds a way. He always finds a way. Like, I can see how people would hate him. I'm a keep it a buck with you guys. I could 100% see why people would hate Lewis Hamilton. Like, he just always, it's like the same way Tom Brady always finds a way to win in the NFL. Like, it gets annoying after a while. Like, you root for him if you're a fan of him. You die-hard root for him if you're a fan of him. But otherwise, you just kind of get bored of the monotonous winning.
Time and again,
Like,
Hamilton has proven
it's
himself
the
a
truth.
master of qualifying. When man and machine are pushing in perfect harmony on the ragged edge of
He
the
looks
season.
so good on the Mercedes.
And at the
Mercedes
2020
cars look
Styrian
so
Grand
nice.
Prix, Hamilton produced one of the finest and bravest driving displays of his career. The conditions in Austria were such that many had doubts as to whether qualifying would happen at all on Saturday, after final practice had been cancelled. But despite a handful of spins and crashes, qualifying continued, and Hamilton was left trading fastest sector times with Max Verstappen as the two
Max
protagonists
Verstappen
dueled
is
for pole
so
position.
perfect to
Head
pick
and
up the
shoulders
pieces like
above the
where
rest.
Lewis Hamilton
And
retires.
Verstappen blinked first, after initially setting the
He
fastest
has that
first
same
sector on his
potential.
final lap to raise hopes he could topple Hamilton. The Dutch master spun at the penultimate corner. And whether he didn't know or didn't care, the man from Stevenage kept his foot to the floor to emerge from the mist and smash his previous best.
Look how treacherous the conditions are. Lewis Hamilton on pole position.
What a lap. Champions drive.
It was freaking awesome.
The scintillating lap had given the Mercedes driver pole by an extraordinary 1.2 seconds.
Is that a lot of time? Is 1.2 seconds a lot of time? I don't really know. This is why I love making these videos, is because I'm going to go back to the comments after this video and I'm going to read all your guys' comments to sort of help me learn why these are brilliant moments, because I do need help sometimes learning why these moments are so brilliant, or why like 1.2 seconds matters, or why like that type of drive in the rain is super impressive. I mean, I know driving in the rain is insanely difficult. But yeah, that's what I got y'all. That's what I got y'all for.
Decision to swap his race-winning McLaren for an up-and-coming Mercedes for 2013 was seen as a risky move by many in the F1
So he
paddock.
switched to Mercedes.
And
in
although their
2013.
first season together was far from perfect, there were some truly remarkable moments along the way, and none more so than in Hungary. After securing a surprise pole at a sun-baked Hungaroring in late July, not even Hamilton gave himself a chance in the race, declaring a win would be a miracle. Expecting his car to rapidly burn away its rear tyres, it soon became clear the rubber was holding firm in the heat, and Hamilton needed no invitation taking advantage. After pitting from the lead, he wasted no time in passing his former teammate with a no-nonsense manoeuvre. And another bold pass on Mark Webber after his second stop left him free and clear at the front, where he could truly put the hammer down.
It's a first win
I feel like
for Mercedes.
it's one of those things where
Hamilton
once
wins
Lewis
the
Hamilton is in
Hungarian
front, he's
Grand
not
Prix.
yielding it.
It was his 22nd race win, but crucially, his first victory for the Silver Arrows. Ringing a win from the car at a circuit that did not favour it was a demonstration of the decisive judgment and error-free execution that would become his hallmark in the years to come, and the first step on what would become a history-making relationship.
Yeah, the Mercedes car is gorgeous
Perhaps the
now.
best example of Hamilton's never-say-die attitude was the 2018 German Grand Prix. After his Mercedes suffered a hydraulic problem in qualifying, he lined up P14 at Hockenheim, with championship rival and home favourite Sebastian Vettel on pole. The British driver had never won a race starting from this far back, but from lights out, he drove like a man possessed.
And Hamilton might just have picked up a place on Sergei Sorokin. Hamilton into turn one, has picked off Esteban Ocon. Down the inside he goes on Charles Leclerc, and he's put himself into the points. Carlos Sainz is the next to be ticked off the list. Ultra soft tyres.
That is going to be one fast car now.
With Vettel leading, Hamilton blasted through the pack. By lap 14 he was fifth, but winning still looked like a very long shot. Hamilton's supremacy, as the rain began to fall, was never more evident. But although he was the fastest driver on the circuit by some margin, Vettel continued to build his lead.
Really?
But on lap 52,
Oh, he's gonna. Oh, yeah.
Out of the
I
race,
was gonna say.
Sebastian Vettel. He has been leading almost from start to finish.
the safety car was called. Bottas came in, but confusion over the radio meant Hamilton aborted his entry to the pits, driving across the grass to continue.
Stay up. In.
Hey, man.
No, sorry, mate. Hey, just go.
When Raikkonen pitted on the next lap, Hamilton took over at the front, with Bottas behind, who went on the attack as soon as the race restarted.
Bottas, switcheroo at the hairpin. Now it's wheel to wheel with Hamilton. Hamilton has the lead still. Lewis Hamilton from 14th on the grid wins the German Grand Prix.
So you're telling me this man, let me get this straight, this man went from 14th, Sebastian Vettel crashed himself in the lead, and then instead of taking a pit stop, which would have put him back behind, was it Raikkonen or was it Hakkinen? It was Raikkonen, wasn't it? And his own teammate, Bottas, he instead stayed out on the same tires and just continued the race. I'm sick. I'm sick right now. I'm sick. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him.
Celebration was iconic, and he took the lead in a fight for the championship that he would not lose. Despite coming closer to the title in his debut season than any rookie had before, Hamilton still sought consistency. And after 2 pointless outings in Canada and France, he'd slumped from 1st to 4th in the driver's standings in 2008 and needed a happy homecoming to keep the critics at bay. A disappointing qualifying saw him start 4th as he struggled with his setup. But on Sunday, he delivered in style.
Great immediate getaway by Kovalainen.
So is it always like
is on the attack.
Sunday,
And look at Hamilton down the inside. The crowd goes mad. Kovalainen's not having that.
I don't want to ruin this one for you guys. I cannot wait for the 2022 season to start. I'm tuned in. I'm dialed in. I usually watch football on Sundays, like soccer, but Chelsea are absolute dog water right now. So I'm enjoying a nice little hiatus from the shit show. So F1 has been my dialed in.
He's squeezing his teammate. Hamilton has to back out of it.
On lap 5, he took the lead going into Stowe, having put relentless pressure on his McLaren teammate Heikki Kovalainen. And when the rain returned, he put new intermediate tyres on his McLaren and was in a class of his own, dropping his nearest challenger Kimi Raikkonen by 22 seconds within 5 laps.
Damn!
But the moment of truth came when the rain intensified to a deluge. As his rivals scrambled to take full wets, the 23-year-old Hamilton trusted his touch on the intermediates. And although briefly slower than those on the full wet, he had
a gigantic lead and just wanted to keep it.
As drama ensued around him.
No, Nelson.
You're going to see more of that. He's gone off in a straight line. That's exactly what we've been talking about. Well, the BMW's off. That'll be in the gravel. That's going no further. Kubica out of the race.
As the tarmac dried, he didn't have to pit again. And no one could match his pace. He was consistently more than 5 seconds a lap faster than some of his
pursuers. He really is.
Despite one brief trip across the grass, by the flag, he'd lapped the entire field up to 4th place.
Lewis Hamilton putting a lap on one of his main rivals, Kimi Raikkonen.
And Alonso.
And was 68 seconds ahead of Nick Heidfeld in 2nd place.
Jesus.
Claiming F1's largest margin of victory for 13 years. Unprecedented.
So let me get this straight. He needed a win to go home to the Great Britain circuit, which I'm not sure where it is exactly. You guys got to fill me in on that. And not only did he win, he emphatically won. Guys, what can I say? I wanted to watch this video so I could try to shit on him in some way, but I can't. You gotta respect what respect is given. And this man has earned it. I feel like you could make a 100 top 100 moments of Lewis Hamilton brilliance. There's gotta be. I mean, you don't win that many world championships in F1 at the pinnacle of racing driving without having just one of the best some of the best moments, the best individual career a driver can have. Obviously, this is not a GOAT debate video. I'm not debating between Senna or Schumacher or Hamilton or anything like that. I love that 2 months ago I didn't know what any of those names were. I knew who Lewis Hamilton was, but I'd never seen the sport. But now I know it all. And that's a big testament to you guys, to be honest. You guys are the reason that we keep doing this. So let me know what else you guys want to see. If you guys have made it this far, this is a very long video. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys for the next video. Peace.